Get going. Tifa.
Whoa, finally I am back. What's good, my fellow peasants? How you doing? So I got dragged out camping, and I got to say my mind has not, it's just, man, it's not stopped thinking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. It really hasn't. I've been dreaming about it. Tifa's been appearing to me every night. It's been wonderful. But I want to finally start talking about what happened. Square Enix went crazy. They gave us, it was the perfect E3. They showed just the right amount. Not too much. Demo, awesome. Release date needed. Cinematic stuff. Tifa. Oh, yes. Yes. And all the information that has come since. Good. I really was worried that when E3 came around and they started showing remake stuff again, that they would skimp and leave people feeling dissatisfied. But from the E3 that we saw, it's really nailed it. The presentation has nailed it. In this video, I'm going to talk about the combat system. Let's start there. I'm going to try to do a video every day. And even that seems to have nailed it as well, because not only has Final Fantasy VII Remake been getting accolades out the butthole. Like, its appearance was strong. It's been getting awards. It's turned cynics into lovers. People who are really cynical are now coming out saying it's been totally reversed. The praise for the demo, I've just been reading article after article, review after review of the combat system. So let's start there, because while I've not played it myself, I wasn't there, and I've seen the same amount as you guys, there's certain things I want to flow into that I am just so happy with. So first thing I'm going to start off with is the cornerstone element. I'm not going to like explain the whole combat system in this video. Most of you probably know how it works at this point. This is what I'm excited for. So the cornerstone element, tactical mode. Yes, Square. This was an element that I'd been speculating, postulating, imagining in my mind for such a long time. And I've had difficulty explaining it. But as most of you know, before even the remake came out, I've always been talking about this hybrid system in my mind. And no, that mixes action combat with an ATB turn-based style mode. Combat system gameplay. I always said, like, go into a turn-based mode, lay it up with teammates. Once we've laid up the commands, boom, the character we're active with can then go into combat, and we can do it physically with skill-based elements. They've done it even better than I was imagining in my head. This tactical mode, not only does it look just cinematically, like the slow motion, the way it pans around, like even this fairly mundane fight of Cloud fighting just some soldiers, even this looks phenomenal. And all I can think is hitting that tactical mode at different parts, be that mid-limit breaks like Tifa mid-somersault, which just looked great. Oh, some of the shots are just going to be beautiful, and you can really take your time to go in and issue commands. And Kitase himself said that that's very much what they're going for. His quote was, "The game has been made so that players can choose exactly how they want to play. I hope players get excited about that." And just going through some words, some phrases that I've seen from people's reviews. A refreshing experience with surprisingly tactical elements that matter. A perfect synergy and blending of tactical based combat mixed with the fast paced, adrenaline rushing, engaging combat. So on and so forth. Now, I'm just going to say, before I dive straight into being a blind fanboy on this and saying, oh my god, they've nailed it. There's going to be things, check marks that Square Enix are going to have to hit for this tactical mode to really be what I'm hoping it will be. And these things are areas that Square Enix are often want for overlooking. So these are things like for a start, the range of materia and exactly how that works is going to be pivotal. And if they get all the colors of materia right, including the support type materia, in terms of status effects, so for both debuffing enemies and buffing the team, like haste, blind, 4 times cut materia, I suppose would make it even more hack and slashy. And that's what I'd even like. That if somebody decides they want to be more action combat based, that something like 4 times cut materia plus a haste will just make Cloud like this super fast, spammy berserker boy. That'd be cool. I'm happy with that. But if they get everything else in place, like stop, slow, regen, haste, reflect, if they can, barrier, if they can get all of those in there, that huge range of abilities. I'm sure that maybe won't get that all in the first part, and that they've got multiple episodes to release this all out. And that's the thing, they don't even know how many episodes it's going to be. All of part 1's going to be in Midgar, which blows my shiznies. I'll talk about that in another video. But the Katase said themselves, they don't know how many episodes this is going to be. But what that gives me confidence for is, even if there's certain features or quirks or kinks that don't quite work, or things we haven't seen, that they're going to be able to evolve it and improve it. It's going to require all of the tactical based abilities, items and spells to make the tactical mode worthy, because I really don't want it to be a case where we can just overlook it. Right? Get too pumped, too powerful, which is going to tie into the second point, is difficulty. Square, you have to make this difficult. You really do. This can't be another 15. Love you 15, but you were too easy. And in terms of strategizing with bros, there's no need. There's no need. By the time it was actually more of an adverse effect to waste time working with the bros. And that's the thing, like when we even go to 15, there was a wait mode, which you could say is similar to tactical mode, but the difference that I've overwhelmingly seen from reviewers is that the tactical mode so far is essential. Right? You are not going to get away with just XXXX squaring and limit breaking at your butt cheeks. Like, it is really essential to the combat system, and people are saying they even having to use the cover system and the defense, the blocking system, actually having to use potions and healing up, or they were going to wipe on well, it's not Guard Scorpion now, Scorpion Sentinel. So that's really good, because wait mode in 15 literally was just to make an already impossible to wipe game even easier and slower and less hectic. And I've got to say, out of all of the views I've seen, about the only con that I've seen is potential camera issues. So I love the setup, the 3 characters, it's got that Type 0 feel, like the way the camera works and moves. It feels kind of arena based. I don't know if that's going to be the same once we get to an open world type area, because Midgar is very small and cramped. But I like that setup. The only thing I've heard is sometimes the camera can go crazy, and Square Enix definitely have a penchant for crazy camera. Like 15 got nuttier than the nuttiest granola I've ever nutted over. Bad analogy. It just got crazy at times. So if they can get that right, that diverse range of abilities and spells to make it tactical, and the difficulties there, we are on for something beautiful. So other things I'm really happy for, because what I'm getting is there's going to be so much to keep an eye on and keeping the player busy and engaged. So not only do we have a stagger system, not only do we have a really active block and dodge and cover mechanic system happening, we even have like MMO-esque positionals happening, especially during the boss fight. Then we have, of course, the ATB bar filling up, moving into tactical mode. That will give us abilities, items, and spells, even just the limit breaks, the way that they've taken that huge roster of limit breaks, made some of them more accessible, some of them, no, this is your juicy limit break. Love that. Oh, stances. This was another thing I never noticed. Supposedly we've even got some stances to go into. I think one was called Punisher mode. I think, I might be wrong, correct me, for Cloud, where his hits will become slower but heavier, similar to Barrett rather than kind of Gatling gun, El Rambo. His gun, if you choose this other stance, is slower, longer wind up. It's more like shotgun kind of. That's cool. I love that. Even magic is supposedly going to be really free to cast, like in terms of like you can like fling it in the middle of combos rather than something you have to like toggle to slowly, wait for your go. Kind of like 15, you had to like switch your weapon over to like an orb and then it cast. And while it looked cool, I really want it to be more seamless and fluid, and from what I've heard, it really is. Yes. And now going on to, that's just really what I've seen of the combat system so far. The bosses look really quite long and drawn out. I like that. Some people are criticizing that. I like it, especially with how they're keeping that length of boss fight fresh with different stages, different phases, cinematic like intervals in between the fights, and supposedly all of this isn't even what we're going to be getting as the final thing. Maximilian Dude, who did such an awesome video, I think he choked up, made me choke up. I was blubbing like a damn fool with him because I could just see how passionate and how much this game means to people, and even just like what the way I've seen you guys speaking about it, like your tweets, your Facebook posts, your messages to me. It's like seeing into every gamer's heart, and that's really what's beautiful. And now we've seen more of the combat system, and just to see people even more like passionate and enthused and like feeling like a love and a connection to this already, so much so that not only is it winning accolades, but it's also gone straight to the top of pre-orders. I can't remember what the site was. I think it was Cyberpunk 2077. So it was a data aggregation company, ThinkNum, and they compiled sales data from Amazon and GameStop just after E3. Cyberpunk 2077 and FFVIII Remake shot straight to the top of pre-orders. So in every way, I think it's nailed it. And just going back to what Maximilian Dude said, is because he's seen the entire intro. He actually got to go backstage with Katase. He's seen all of it, the opening bombing mission that is. And he said that from what he's played, they've even restricted what we've seen at E3. Like, really restricted. Like, there's so much more the characters can do and are capable of, and things that Square Enix have purposely hidden from what we saw in the final product. And that is just, that's awesome. That's awesome, because that shows me that the Square Enix of 2015 and before, who would happily show all their cards, will show you whatever the fuck you want. Just buy our game. It looks like they're being more reserved. So the fact that this combat system has already got people saying, yes, I'm loving it, and really enthused, and they're not even seeing the full picture of it yet. I'm really excited for this, guys. And I'll talk about cinematics and faithfulness and other things I'm speculating about the game in another video, but just on a combat system wise, we've definitely seen enough, I think, to be really excited and to be really confident that Square Enix are trying to uphold what they've been saying to us, which is that they're trying to keep it faithful to fans, that they really don't want to mess this up. Like, they are so on it that this game they can't screw up, that they can't rush. This really is their legacy. This is their reputation on the line, and it looks like they've just poured all the resources in, got as many fans of the old game as they can, as well as being bold and brave to even like bring on like new voice actors, even though they've got the old voice actors, like the ones who've been doing it for 15 years. And I think Maximilian said that they're going to keep using those for like other stuff, so like collaborations, like Dissidia or like Brave Exvius appearances or any other cross collaborations. They're going to use those, and they could have used it for the remake, but they purposely went with a new cast because they want to be refreshing. They want to be new. They want to make this something unique, standalone, a reimagining. And that's really brave for a company that could really just sit on the laurels of nostalgia. And I feel like while a lot of people wanted that, I like that they're going for this ingenuitive approach and that they're having that confidence and bravery to work with something so beloved. So can't wait to do more video, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe if you are on the hype train. Let me know what about the combat system is titillating you most of all, and let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see me cover next. Thanks so much. Love you, brother and sister peasants. Until the next video. Group out.